Oh, man, a big jolt in the North County Sunday morning. It was felt all across San Diego. We were in a meeting when it happened here. Whoa, what is that?
That's it.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Steve Price.
And I'm Kirsten Holmes. The USGS rated the quake a 4.1 on the Richter scale, centered beneath Palomar Mountain. Now, we haven't received any reports of damage or anyone being hurt, but it definitely got a lot of people's attention.
This was also a good test run for the county's Office of Emergency Services, which has been working with the USGS on developing the Shake Alert early warning system. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen has reaction from San Diegans who felt that shaking and earthquake expert Dr. Pat Abbott.
Did you feel it? That is the question everybody is asking after we got a surprise quake in San Diego.
Well, my kids came in screaming, so that was the first realization that it was an earthquake that we felt.
At around 9:45 this morning, many San Diegans felt the 4.1 magnitude earthquake.
It sounded like something exploded, kind of, and then the dog's barking, and then the house is shaking, and we're like...
She like spilled her coffee. She's like, it's okay, everything's okay.
It almost sounded like there was like a jet overhead, like a sonic boom type thing.
The hashtag earthquake trending on Twitter. One person tweeting, in Escondido, we felt 2 quick jolts. The second one felt bigger. It shook my house and got my heart racing.
Yeah, that's the first one in a couple years I can remember really shaking the ground the way it did.
SDSU geology professor Pat Abbott says the epicenter of the quake was about 3 miles from the Palomar Observatory.
Physically, here's what happened. About 8 miles below the ground surface, the ground ruptured along about the length of a football field, maybe 350 feet or so. So that tear of the Earth's surface, we felt the energy from that as an earthquake.
And when that happens, what do people typically see or feel?
It can be felt rather widely. People feel some shaking. But in terms of damage or things to really worry about, we usually don't have anything associated with anything of that size. At the most, maybe some homes in Palma Valley or Valley Center or someplace close to that might have an item fall off of a shelf or a limb break off of a tree. However, Abbott says this is a reminder to be prepared in the future if bigger quakes occur. Things that people would need to prepare for would be, is there anything inside your house that could fall down, that's up high, that could easily fall down? If there is, fasten it or move it. When the shaking starts, drop, cover, hold on. No stress, no worry. But I mean, this is a reminder of bigger events that will come up sometime in the future.
Professor Abbott also says this morning's earthquake will cause aftershocks, but they will be so small we probably won't even feel them. Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Not feeling them. I like the sound of that.
I still haven't felt any of it. When we were in the meeting, everyone was reacting. I was like, it missed me again.
Just wait, just wait. All right, 4 men facing felony charges tonight for their actions at the San Diego Zoo Saturday, which stranded dozens of visitors on the Sky-Fari ride for a good 2 hours.
Yeah, investigators say it was not an accident. The suspects shook their gondola until a safety mechanism kicked in and stopped the ride for everyone in the air. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The men were arrested. CBS 8's Brian White talked to a lawyer about the charges that they are now facing.
Most of us who've been to the zoo or to SeaWorld have ridden on these sky trams, and when you're up there, you can't help but wonder, are these things safe and can they fall off the track? Well, these 4 men tried to shake their gondola right off the tracks. San Diego fire rescue trucks responded Saturday to the San Diego Zoo in order to assist patrons who were stuck in the gondolas on the Sky-Fari ride after 4 men caused it to shut down.
They're looking back at their I think group of friends who was in the bucket behind them, and they were shaking it really hard as it came in, and it must have came off or something.
According to San Diego police, these 4 men ages 21 to 24 aggressively shook their gondola so hard back and forth that it came off the track, which automatically shut down all 28 gondolas, leaving 100 people stranded in the air.
It was kind of crazy that they even did that they were shaking it that hard.
Everyone was able to safely exit their gondolas at the end of this ordeal, and the 4 men responsible were taken into custody and could be facing felony vandalism charges.
What they did was very, very dangerous. Can you be criminally prosecuted? That's going to be the question.
Brian Watkins is a criminal and civil lawyer, and he says any criminal prosecution will depend on whether they did any damage to the gondola.
Well, if they did cause damage to the equipment in an excess of $950, which is serious damage, they're going to be facing a restitution award, which means they will have to pay back every dollar of the damage, including the loss of use and any other incidental damages. So that can get to be a pretty hefty bill. Legally speaking, they can look up to a year in jail for something like this. It's unlikely that they would do jail time if they don't have any prior record.
While no one was injured, Brian points out this could have turned out much worse.
Had they had caused something to fall or break and it hurt someone underneath that ride or even killed them, they could be charged with murder or manslaughter or something that serious.
At the San Diego Zoo, I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
All right, Brian, thank you. Well, it was another warm and dry day across San Diego, but we could have a little fog rolling in overnight.
Meteorologist Sean Stiles is here with a first look at that microclimate forecast. Hey there, Sean.
Good evening to the both of you. It looks like our weather pattern shifting ever so slightly, that typical nuance of weather here in San Diego. Now, today, temperature was exactly where it was supposed to be as far as the daytime high, but did you think it was a little chilly outside last night? Well, it was. 42 was our overnight low. With the clearing skies, we are definitely seeing some cooler conditions. It will continue to be below average temperature-wise over the next couple days, and we are seeing a cool down from yesterday at this time, anywhere from as much as 5 degrees in Del Mar and as much as 1 degree in the Alpine area. Now, once you're up in the mountains, the atmosphere is starting to equalize. So when it was a little bit cooler yesterday because of high pressure suppressing the cooler air aloft towards the surface, they are back to a slightly warmer weather pattern, and the same for Ocotillo Wells and Borrego, where they're 8 and 9 degrees warmer. Now, looking at tomorrow, we're talking about temperatures staying about where they are, but boy, look at how cool it gets by, say, Tuesday and Wednesday, as a trough of low pressure digs down over the Great Basin and into the Rockies by the time we get to Wednesday. For you folks along the coastline, yeah, it's going to be cool, and then we start to warm back up as high pressure returns and gives us a little bit of an offshore flow again. I'll explain how this is all going to shake out in the next couple days.
All right, thank you for that, Sean. Okay, so tonight, investigators are looking for whoever shot and killed a man this morning in Imperial Beach. It happened just after 3 o'clock this morning on Georgia Street, just south of Palm Avenue. Deputies found a man in an alley behind an apartment complex who had been shot. He died there at the scene. Investigators say neighbors may be able to piece together what happened.
There's witnesses in the area who may have saw or heard something. We are investigating those details now.
There's no description of the suspect just yet, but please call Crime Stoppers if you have any information that can help.
A man is facing DUI charges after he returned to the scene of a two-car crash early this morning in Spring Valley. Happened just after 1:30 at Hamishaw Boulevard and Sacramento Avenue. When the driver returned, he failed a sobriety test from CHP officers and was taken into custody. Neither driver was hurt in the crash. A big rig flipped over on I-15, causing major traffic problems this morning in the North County. Happened around 10 at the interchange with State Route 76 just south of Fallbrook. You can see the problems right there. Northbound I-15 reduced to one lane for a couple of hours. Also, no one hurt in that crash as well.
Now, if you had to wait longer than usual for a bus today, that's because of a shortage of operators is forcing MTS to temporarily reduce some bus services. This will mostly affect high-frequency routes throughout the week. Now, some routes that have a 10-minute wait time, that has been extended to 15 minutes between buses, and some routes with a 20-minute wait are extended to 30 minutes. Also, some school-related tripper services will not operate. Again, this is only for buses. Trolley services will not be affected. Check with MTS for the status of your route. And developing tonight, the city of Coronado is investigating alleged racist comments made by a city employee toward Asian Americans.
The alleged incident happened yesterday in the parking garage of an Orange County mall. The incident spread quickly on social media. In a statement, city manager Tina Friend said that she became aware of the video and, quote, took immediate action to look into the report, but says she cannot discuss specifics at this point. CBS 8's Regina On is working to get more information on what happened. She's going to have details coming up later at 6:30.